What if I told you that free software is actually currently costing your business thousands of dollars a month?
Oh, yeah. It happens all the time.
Right. I mean, you type something like best free CRM into a search bar, thinking you're just being, fiscally responsible. But instead, you're walking blindfolded into this highly engineered trap.
Exactly. A trap of hidden upgrade cliffs, ecosystem lock-in, and just massive lost productivity.
Yeah, you just want a simple place to track your customers, and suddenly you're drowning in pricing tiers and software jargon.
It's a profound sensory overload, honestly, and the irony is palpable. I mean, you are actively searching for a tool to reduce your operational stress, right?
Right, but the procurement process itself becomes a second full-time job.
Precisely. We see this pattern constantly.
Yeah.
Business owners end up completely paralyzed by choice, or, worse, they make a snap decision that structurally damages their operations a year down the line.
Which is exactly why we are tackling this head-on today. So we're doing a deep dive into a really detailed breakdown from the ServiceAgent blog. It's their guide to the best free CRM for small business in 2026.
Yes, a very timely piece.
Yeah, they highlight 7 top tools currently dominating the market. But our mission today isn't just to, recite a feature list to you. We want to decode the underlying mechanics of why a business would actually choose one of these architectures over another.
Because, as the source points out, treating this decision casually is incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, picking the wrong free CRM and then having to migrate all your data and retrain your entire staff a year later, that costs you months of lost momentum. So consider this a high-stakes matchmaking game for your specific operational workflow. Okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it. And, the most critical baseline we need to establish right out of the gate is that in the world of B2B software, the word free always comes with an invisible asterisk.
Oh, I love that. An invisible asterisk.
No. It is never a charitable donation from a developer. It's a calculated strategic hook designed for customer acquisition.
Right.
So what we need to do is help you look past the slick marketing copy to see the actual user ceilings, the financial traps waiting in year 2, and the genuine utility of these platforms.
The invisible asterisk. I'm definitely keeping that in mind. So let's start with the 2 most prominent names on this list, the generalist giants.
Yeah.
This is really where we establish the baseline of what free actually looks like in 2026. We're examining HubSpot CRM and Zoho CRM. And right away, these 2 present the classic software architectural trade-off, right? Raw storage capacity versus deep procedural control.
That is a highly accurate way to frame it. Let's look at the mechanics of HubSpot first.
Okay.
This is an absolute industry behemoth, based in Cambridge, Massachusetts, deployed by over 238,000 companies.
Wow, that's massive. Yeah.
Yeah. And their free tier is deliberately engineered to be completely frictionless. They give you unlimited users and unlimited contacts for exactly $0.
Which sounds insane.
Right. You get built-in email tracking, you get live chat. The whole strategy is to remove every single barrier to entry so your entire team adopts the tool without a second thought.
I mean, it sounds incredibly generous on the surface. Unlimited users means I could theoretically have a sales floor of 50 people logging in, tracking deals, communicating, and literally not paying a dime.
Theoretically, yes.
But nobody builds a multi-billion-dollar company by giving away server space indefinitely. So where does the trap spring?
The trap springs the exact moment you try to scale your efficiency. What's compelling here is how HubSpot actually monetizes your data gravity.
Data gravity, right?
Yeah, they give you the storage for free, but the moment you want to automate a repetitive workflow or, pull a custom report on your sales velocity, you hit a vertical upgrade cliff.
Oh, so the automation is totally paywalled.
Strictly paywalled. Their paid tiers might start at a seemingly reasonable $15 per user per month for the starter plan. But
let me guess, the real stuff costs way more.
Exactly. If you want the real operational power, the professional tier, that price jumps to $90 per user per month. Enterprise is $150.
Ouch. Yeah, that scales fast.
And if you look at their Trustpilot reviews, which currently hover around a 2.0 out of 5, the primary grievance is the shock of these billing surprises.
So what does this all mean? It sounds like HubSpot is a free luxury hotel where they let you and your entire extended family stay in the penthouse for free, but they charge you $100 for a glass of tap water the moment you want room service.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah, they just wait until your data is so entrenched in their system that leaving is physically more painful than paying the invoice.
Precisely. Now, let's contrast that architectural philosophy with Zoho CRM, operating out of Chennai and Austin.
Yeah, the other giant.
Right.
Okay.
They have over 250,000 companies using their platform, but they take the exact opposite approach to their free tier. Well, instead of giving you unlimited capacity, they give you deep, granular customization. Even on the free plan, you can build custom data fields, manage multiple sales pipelines, and utilize basic automation rules they call blueprints.
Wait, let's pause on that because blueprint sounds like standard marketing fluff to me. What does that actually mean for a business owner's day-to-day?
It means forcing functions. A blueprint in Zoho allows you to map out your exact business process and physically prevent a sales rep from moving a deal to the next stage unless they've filled out a specific field.
Oh, like forcing them to attach a signed contract or log a phone call?
Exactly. It forces data discipline on your team without you having to constantly micromanage them.
I see. That level of control is appealing, especially for a highly specific operational process.
Yeah.
But there has to be a catch. I mean, you don't get that kind of procedural control for free without hitting a wall somewhere.
You hit a very hard, immovable wall. Zoho's free tier is capped at exactly 3 users, period.
Oh, wow. Just 3.
It's just 3. The moment you hire a 4th person, you are forced onto a paid plan. Additionally, the source notes that Reddit feedback frequently highlights a steep cognitive load with Zoho.
Meaning it's hard to use.
Yeah, users complain the interface is deeply cluttered and navigation feels slow compared to the, consumer-grade slickness of HubSpot.
So wait, a hard cap of 3 users. That sounds less like a CRM and more like a hostage situation if you ever actually decide to scale your business. Are founders really willing to trap their growth trajectory like that just to get custom data fields?
Well, it entirely depends on your foundational business engine. If your primary goal is rapid marketing reach, if you need to blast emails to thousands of contacts and have a large, rotating team of junior reps logging activity, you choose HubSpot.
Right. You accept the lack of automation to gain the massive scale.
Exactly. But if your business has a highly idiosyncratic, bespoke process, say a specialized consulting firm or a boutique manufacturing operation, and you have a very small, tightly knit founding team, Zoho gives you the tools to map that process perfectly.
Like a free Lego set, but the instructions are written in a tiny font and you only get enough pieces for 3 people.
That's exactly it.
That clarifies the baseline. Match the architecture to your specific growth engine. But since we're analyzing the friction of adding human beings to a system, let's pivot a bit.
Sure.
User caps seem to be the distinct hurdle with these free tiers. The source text logically moves to 2 tools that sit at the absolute opposite extremes of the scale spectrum. One is built exclusively for a single human, and the other is built to house an absolute army.
Streak and Bitrix 24.
Yeah, let's examine those.
These 2 represent a stark dichotomy in user experience design. Streak is the ultimate solo engine. It is explicitly designed for the freelancer, the independent contractor, or the one-person consultancy.
Okay, what makes it so different?
Its defining architectural feature is that it fundamentally lacks a separate application interface. It operates entirely as a Chrome extension living directly inside your Gmail inbox.
Oh, nice.
Which eliminates context switching entirely. That is a substantial psychological advantage.
It really is.
Every time you switch tabs from your email to a separate CRM, you lose a fraction of your focus. And I know so many independent operators whose entire business life is essentially just their inbox anyway.
It's a brilliant reduction of friction. For one single user, Streak gives you unlimited sales pipelines and native email tracking entirely for free. You manage deals right next to your incoming emails.
Sounds perfect for a solopreneur.
It is, but what's fascinating here is the distinct structural vulnerability ecosystem lock-in.
Here's the invisible asterisk again.
Yep. Streak is an elegant solution if and only if you intend to permanently reside within the Google workspace.
Because it's literally a parasite on the Gmail host.
Exactly. The moment your consultancy grows and you need to collaborate with an external partner or, a major enterprise client, mandates that you communicate via Outlook for compliance reasons.
Streak instantly becomes a brick.
A total brick. You are structurally trapped within the Alphabet ecosystem. Wow. It's like building a beautiful custom home on land you don't actually own.
Yeah.
It's incredibly cozy until the landlord changes the locks.
That's a very real risk.
Which brings us to the polar opposite philosophy. Bitrix 24. This is positioned as the everything workspace. Now, the source notes it offers unlimited free users, which honestly, that sounds mathematically impossible after we just dissected Zoho's strict three-user hostage situation.
It does sound nuts.
How does a company offer unlimited seats for free?
They do it by fundamentally redefining what the software is trying to be. Bitrix24 is not just a CRM. It's a monolithic platform combining customer records, task management, internal chat, and native video calls.
Wait, native video calls?
Yes. It wants to replace Slack, Asana, Zoom, and Salesforce all at once.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the financial mathematics the source lays out are genuinely compelling if you ever do decide to upgrade. Scaling up on Bitrix24 is a flat rate. It costs $99 a month for an entire 50-person team.
99 flat.
Flat. If you put those same 50 people on a standard per-seat CRM at a conservative, say, $15 a head, you're bleeding over $700 a month. The cost efficiency at scale is undeniable.
I mean, I hear the math, but I really have to push back on the reality of actually implementing this.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Capterra reviews referenced in the source, and the overarching theme is just immense friction.
Yes, that is the catch.
Users describe a brutal learning curve and an interface that feels like an airplane cockpit.
Yeah.
Is an overwhelming, confusing platform really free if it costs your operations team 3 weeks of lost productivity just to figure out how to log a phone call?
Whoa.
Or assign an internal task? The cognitive load sounds paralyzing.
That is the exact economic trade-off you are making. You are subsidizing that unlimited user access and that flat rate pricing with your team's time and cognitive bandwidth.
So it's free in dollars, but expensive in hours.
Exactly. Bitrix24 is undeniably powerful, but it requires serious, dedicated administrative overhead to configure and train staff on. If your business just needs a functional contact list to track leads, deploying Bitrix24 is catastrophic overkill.
Right.
It is designed for an enterprise that requires a centralized digital office building, not a digital Rolodex.
Okay, so we've mapped the generalists, and we've explored the extremes of user scale. Now let's transition to a totally different problem. Let's say your contacts are perfectly organized and your team is fully trained. Suddenly, your problem isn't data storage, it's execution velocity.
Moving deals forward.
Exactly. Your sales team is drowning in data but starving for closed deals. How do you shift a CRM from being a passive filing cabinet into an active engine? The source highlights Fresh Sales and Pipedrive for this specific function.
Fresh Sales is a fascinating case study in operational velocity. They offer a free tier capped at 3 users, but their primary differentiator is that they natively build a phone dialer and an email client directly into the CRM interface.
So you aren't integrating third-party telephony apps,
Right. The execution tools are native.
which speeds up the physical act of selling. But the source indicates the real draw isn't actually the native dialer. It's the architectural shift that happens when you cross the paywall.
Correct. If you upgrade to their $39 a month Pro plan, you unlock a feature they call Freddy AI.
Freddy AI. Got it.
Yeah, and this isn't just a chatbot. It's an artificial intelligence layer that actively scores your leads based on real-time engagement signals. It monitors who is opening your emails, who is hovering on your pricing page, and, who is just completely ignoring you.
That's incredible context for a sales rep to have.
It is. The source actually highlights a highly relevant case study with Blue Nile, the jewelry retailer. By utilizing Fresh Sales and its automated AI-triggered follow-ups, they managed to reduce their appointment no-show rates down to just 20%.
Oh, wow. Just from letting the software handle the follow-up cadence.
Exactly. That is a profound retention of potential revenue.
That shifts the dynamic entirely. The software is actively telling your sales team who is most likely to buy today, rather than forcing a rep to blindly work down an alphabetical list of cold leads.
Precisely. It prioritizes human effort.
But here's where it gets really interesting. The next tool on this list of best free CRMs is Pipedrive. And the source explicitly states that Pipedrive does not even have a free plan.
No, it doesn't.
They offer a 14-day trial, and then they lock you out. Why on earth is a premium paid tool taking up real estate on a guide explicitly dedicated to free software?
It's an insightful inclusion by the author, actually, because it reflects the real life cycle of a growing business. Pipedrive is positioned on this list as the graduate CRM.
The graduate CRM.
Right. It is the most common platform businesses migrate to once they finally break the free tiers of a HubSpot or a Zoho, and it boasts a 4.7 out of 5 rating on G2, which is remarkably high for enterprise software.
A 4.7 is basically unheard of. Most sales teams actively despise their CRMs. What is the underlying mechanism that makes Pipedrive so highly rated?
It comes down to its strict adherence to a visual Kanban pipeline. It isn't trying to be a monolithic workspace like Bitrix 24. It doesn't want to manage your marketing emails or host your video calls.
Right, it just wants to do sales.
Exactly. It is exclusively engineered to move a deal from left to right across a screen. And the psychology behind a Kanban board is potent. By forcing a representative to physically drag a visual card from a contacted column to a negotiating column, it exploits our deep psychological drive for visual completion.
Like checking a box on a to-do list.
Yes. Furthermore, it utilizes strict activity-based selling reminders. It will visually flag a deal if there isn't a scheduled next step, literally physically preventing warm leads from going cold in the pipeline.
So Pipedrive isn't a Swiss Army knife trying to do 100 things adequately. It's a scalpel. It only does one thing, slice through a sales pipeline to close revenue, but it does it with such precision that you're totally willing to pay a premium for it.
That's the crux of it. But you do pay a premium. The base tier starts at $14 per user per month, but the source notes that critical features, like their LED Booster add-on, require additional monthly fees on top of the base license.
So the costs compound quickly.
Very quickly. You have to be actively closing deals to justify the overhead.
All right, let's take a step back. So far, every single tool we've analyzed, whether it's a generalist, a solo inbox, or a sales scalpel, still requires a human being.
True.
It requires an employee to sit at a keyboard, answer a phone, type out notes, and manually drag a deal across a screen. But we are looking at a guide for 2026. And the final tool on this list represents a complete structural paradigm shift in how we even define what a CRM is capable of doing. Let's dissect ServiceAgent.
ServiceAgent. This is where we cross from traditional software into what you might call service as software.
Okay, break that down.
ServiceAgent isn't actually a standalone CRM database that replaces your current system. It is an AI voice agent engineered to sit as an intelligence layer on top of your existing infrastructure, whether you use HubSpot, Salesforce, or, industry-specific field service tools like Jobber.
Interesting.
It is highly targeted at service-based businesses. Think HVAC companies, plumbers, roofers, solar installers.
That's right. Industries where the margins are entirely tied to responsiveness. If you are under a sink fixing a pipe and you miss a phone call, you just lost a $5,000 installation job to the competitor 2 blocks over who actually picked up the phone.
Precisely. And the performance metrics the source highlights are frankly staggering. Because it is an AI agent handling the inbound calls 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, they report a literal 100% call answer rate.
100%. That's wild.
It is. Even more critically, they report a 75% booking conversion rate via their website widget.
Wait, 75? Compared to what normally?
Compared to an industry baseline that traditionally hovers around 15%.
That's insane.
It's massive. The AI verbally qualifies the caller, books the appointment directly onto the company calendar, and then pushes that clean, structured data straight into the underlying CRM.
Wow.
And the economic model flips traditional SaaS pricing entirely on its head. The platform itself has no monthly licensing fee. You only pay a transaction fee when the AI successfully handles a call or books a job.
That completely redefines the procurement conversation. You are no longer paying for the privilege of storing data on a server. You're paying for the physical labor of customer service and data entry.
Exactly.
It's treating the software as a virtual employee rather than a digital filing cabinet.
But surely there's a downside to deploying an autonomous AI to talk to your customers.
Oh, there's a substantial caution flag here. This is bleeding-edge deployment. The source notes that ServiceAgent only launched in April of 2025.
Wait, really? That's barely a year of market testing. Exactly. And while the financial backing is formidable, the parent company, Sauce Labs, has raised $74 million and boasts backing from Sequoia Capital. The source explicitly points out that there are currently 0 verified reviews on major platforms like G2 or Capterra.
Oh, so you are operating entirely on vendor-reported outcomes.
Precisely. And more pressingly, crucial regulatory questions remain completely unanswered. Things like strict HIPAA compliance for healthcare deployments or comprehensive data privacy standard certifications are just unconfirmed right now.
So the trade-off is really stark. You're abandoning the established, decade-long reliability of a legacy platform in exchange for the absolute cutting edge of autonomous execution.
It is the ultimate early adopter gamble. You risk encountering serious business-disrupting bugs, but if it works, you gain an operational efficiency that your competitors simply cannot match manually.
Man, what a landscape. So we've mapped the entire thing. We've gone from the land and expand generalists to the friction of scaling users to the psychology of sales execution and finally to the AI front office. Let's synthesize this into actionable strategy for the listener.
Let's do it.
The source text concludes with a highly practical FAQ section, tackling the ultimate question. At what specific threshold should a business start playing the free game and formally procure a paid CRM?
The synthesis of their advice boils down to a very clear equation. The general rule of thumb is that the friction of a free tier becomes untenable once you hit roughly 3 to 5 users.
Okay, 3 to 5 users.
But the more critical, quantifiable metric is time value. You must upgrade to a paid plan the exact moment the time you spend doing manual data entry costs your business more than a $15 a month subscription.
That makes total sense.
If an operations manager is spending 3 hours a week manually migrating data between systems because the free tier artificially restricts automation, that business is actively hemorrhaging money by refusing to pay for software.
That is the ultimate framing. So for you listening right now, I highly recommend calculating your own data entry hourly rate. The best tool isn't the one with the longest feature list. It's the one that explicitly matches your daily operational habits.
Definitely.
If your entire workflow revolves around email and you work alone, install Streak and enjoy the lack of context switching. If you have a massive team but zero capital and you can stomach a brutal learning curve, Bitrix 24 will save you thousands. If you're optimizing purely for marketing reach, you accept the HubSpot upgrade cliff. You have to mold the software architecture to your business reality, never the other way around.
That is the definitive takeaway. It requires brutal honesty about how your team actually functions under pressure. But this entire deep dive brings us to a rather profound implication that the source text touches on but doesn't fully extrapolate.
Oh, what's that?
Think back to the mechanics of that ServiceAgent AI we just analyzed. If we are entering an era where software can autonomously answer a customer's phone call, verbally qualify the lead, cross-reference the calendar, book the appointment, and update the lead status without a human being ever touching a keyboard.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
Does the CRM interface of the near future effectively become invisible?
Wow.
Are we moving toward a reality where the database runs the entire operational backend of a business, but human employees never actually need to log in and look at a dashboard again?
That is a staggering thought experiment. We open this discussion by comparing the search for a CRM to walking blindfolded into a massive, chaotic warehouse.
Right.
We've spent the last 20 minutes trying to find the perfect map to navigate that warehouse. But perhaps the ultimate technological goal isn't finding a better map. Maybe the goal of the next decade is never having to walk into the warehouse at all.
It's entirely possible.
But a compelling shift in perspective to keep in mind the next time you evaluate your own operational tech stack. Thank you so much for taking this deep dive into the underlying mechanics of these platforms with us. We will catch you next time.